Hey, what's going on YouTube? Joe here from Metafish. It has been a long time. Winter here in Michigan's been brutal. Work's been brutal. I don't want to give you any sob stories. Truck's been breaking. Everything's just, I'm sure everybody's kind of feeling it right now. Winter's setting in here in Michigan. We've been dealing with below freezing temperatures for the last 3 weeks. Lately it's been around 0 degrees Fahrenheit. But TGIF, it's Friday, I'm feeling pretty good, so I figured it's about time we do a fish room tour video. I'm not really looking to sell fish. I apologize to everybody who's messaged me lately, and I just haven't gotten back with you. I've just been too busy, but I promise I will get back with you. Just no hard feelings. I'm not trying to ignore you individually. There's a bunch of people, so I'm sorry. We shut down the website like we usually do every year due to cold weather and just being busy, not wanting to deal with customer returns and all that stuff. So if you want to come pick up fish, we have some awesome fish. We have to follow inflation just like everything else nowadays. You can't go out and have a meal at the bar for lunch for less than 20 bucks hardly. It's crazy nowadays. So it's hitting us. Consumers just keeps going up, especially this time of year. But we got some really good fish. So let's, I guess, go over what we've done and what we haven't done. I'm going to try to do it pretty quick here. I still got green water up here. We had a batch of angelfish. We left for Christmas break. Left them for 6 days thinking they would survive in there. They were a little too young. So we ended up losing those. It was really no big loss. They were kind of calicos like these guys. Some of them are really nice. They all have blues in them. Some of them have a little wonky fins. I didn't really cull this batch super hard, but they're like blue marble angelfish. So this is a 120-gallon tank. Over here we've been growing out the koi from the pond. We feed him twice a day, big pellets. Super happy. I mean, look at the fins on that guy. And he's going to another pond as soon as things warm up around here. So 3 or 4 months he's going to grow out in this 100-gallon tank. And he's living here for now with all these juvenile blue acaras. Super cool fish, South American. They get along pretty well with just about everybody. I'm sure he's eaten quite a few of them, but he doesn't eat them anymore. They're big enough. But I had a big batch of them. And I mean, maybe he ate 10% or something. They ended up in his mouth when he was trying to get pellets, but that's kind of the fun of the koi. He's like a big puppy dog. Right now I'm acting weird, so he's a little skittish. But usually he's up at the front of the tank. And you know, if I was living in water, he would leave the glass and come right up in front of your face to get food. That's how big of a puppy dog those koi are sometimes. So similar to a lot of South Americans, Oscars, Jack Dempseys, they all have unique personalities. If you've never owned South Americans and you've only done African cichlids, I recommend doing South Americans at least once in your life. Get yourself a tank of South Americans, a big tank, because most of them get pretty big. Your Jack Dempseys, your Oscars, all that stuff. They're fun. They're some of my wife's favorite fish, along with this koi. She likes the bigger fish, it seems like. So we got black acaras down here, which these are all juveniles here. So I don't know, most people don't know what a black acara looks like, but they get pretty big. They can hold their own against cichlids. These are still our red, they're Geophagus steindachnerai. They all have the red head, but they're not red hump they're not red head Geophagus, they're red hump Geophagus. So still a very beautiful fish, just different. This is one of our grow out tanks. We've been going with this for probably about the last 9 months. Pulled a few fish out of here for a customer. Tim, I don't know if you're watching this, but your tank looks awesome, man. I hope the colors come back. The only thing I can say is he messaged me and the colors of his fish didn't come back because he moved them, then he added crushed coral to a 55-gallon. And then the colors didn't come back. It's sometimes less is more, you know. Fish have to get comfortable. The more changes you introduce, the more stress, the more new water. It can all take a toll on them. They're probably just not comfortable right now. Less is more. Leave the lights off. Don't mess with them a whole bunch. Don't change their tank. Unfortunately, you know, people who are excited about fish and get a fish tank and only have one fish tank, they change things too often. That's one of the biggest mistakes in fish keeping hobby. You just kind of got to leave them alone and they'll do better. That's what I've learned, at least. So it's hard when you only have one tank. And you're trying to do what's best for the fish, but they just like constant steadiness. They like to see people twice a day to get fed and then not see people ever again. And you want to see them all the time. So these are just some of the angelfish we have. These are big, over $1/4 size. They're gold blue pinoy. They have blue in them. You can see in some of the fins. And we have quite a few of these golds. For some reason, the golds didn't sell as good as the blacks. The blacks have blue in them also, and I'm saving that guy. We have a lot that look similar and are very nice. But I'm saving him. I plan on breeding him. Down here are the red empress. So this is what your fish will look like, Tim. I gave you the best colored male red empress juvenile that we had. It's just going to take a while. He's a hap, a predator hap. And haps take a lot longer than peacocks to color up. So your fish is already a 1.5 years old. He was already showing pretty good color. Now he lost it. It just takes a lot of time for him. So these are more blue acaras. Just have them in a 10-gallon instead of with the koi right now. Really nice fish. These are not the Alvarez swords. These are the yellowtail swordtails. I have the collection point from Mexico where these were collected. And they're doing really good in this 10-gallon. Looks like I'm super male heavy. So there's quite a few babies in here too. Look at all the little baby swordtails. And this is a mixed guppy tank. So guppy Endler tank. So everything that doesn't look 100% from these tanks up here, I throw into the mixed guppy tank down here. And sometimes you get some really cool ones. See, the camera's not really focusing well, but I'm gonna have to move a lot quicker than this. So these are sunshine bangas in a 10-gallon. These are black bar endlers. A school did a project here in Michigan and came over and got black bar endlers, lots of different plants, and then each student got to pick which plants they wanted to have in their terrarium, and they closed it up with a couple endlers in there, and it was a super success. And yeah, so Sam, I hope that worked out super good, because those black bar endlers are super hardy, healthy, and she told me it worked out really well, and the kids were super satisfied with what they chose. And these are red empress. I have the two albinos in the back. I'd like to breed those albinos. They ended up being a mix. They kind of got muddy, but these were originally all blue Moscows. But right now, this kind of turned into a mixed tank. It's kind of an older tank. And the only one left is up here. These are the Stoller Endlers. They do so good in this tank, but I haven't even cleaned or messed with it. I just removed some of the water, replaced the water, feed them lots of brine shrimp. Those are the Endlers with 2 spots. They look similar to black bars, but they have 2 spots in the middle of their body. The more symmetrical those spots are, the better quality the Stoller Endler is, apparently. And just another Endler type. I have the red volcano Endlers here. I still have to cull these. This is a pretty good specimen up here. Not that one. Oop, I just touched the glass. But the red ones are. And they end up looking like black bar Endlers quite often. So I have to constantly cull these 2 tanks up here. These are also red Endlers. So when you get red volcano Endlers, it's a little more difficult because the line's not fully set right now. This is one of our tanks. We have another one upstairs that holds a lot of our French blue star Endlers. This is one of the fish that did the best at the auction for us. So obviously there were multiple people who wanted French blue star Endlers at that auction, which was really nice. This tank I'm about ready to crash. There's only a few fish left. These are from Lake Trinidad. They're like an Endler, but they're not an Endler. So anyways, no big deal on those. They came from Indianapolis. More muck guppies up here, so I did throw a bunch of different fish up here, so I like to mix all my guppies sometimes. Just mud guppies always sell when you go to swaps and stuff, and I sell big bags of them pretty cheap, which works out. More mud guppies. These are all just 5-gallon tanks. I'm getting ready to feed the brine shrimp right now, so excuse me, I stopped the air pump there. Over here we're still growing more Amica splendens. Glass is all dirty from salt water being splashed on it, but that's a 10-gallon tank full of Amica splendens. I've moved quite a few of those through. Again, more salt spray, but these are the snakeskin orchid endlers. Really cool endler. They breed very true, even though their patterns are a little different on each one, but they all are very similar. Those snakeskin orchid endlers, that was one of the rare ones I was super excited to get, but they're hard to sell. Like, there's not a ton of people looking for snakeskin orchid endlers. So I'm trying to revitalize my blue Moscow population. So here's some of the babies, and I gave them their own 10-gallon tank here. And I'm kind of surprised there's might need to do a water change here. Everybody's kind of not looking real happy for once. Usually, or maybe they're just looking for food. But my blue Moscows are in here. That's probably what they're doing. They're just waiting for me to feed because I'm down here. And then this is another really cool guppy. I finally have enough to start selling. I haven't sold any of these. These are the swordtail guppies. So they all have a little bit different color. Some of them are yellow. Some of them have those black spots. Some are a little more green. But all the males have that swordtail, that bottom swordtail. And they're all just super pretty. So I'm not really trying to set the line more on these. This is the main 10-gallon tank with the babies and breeding adults for the swordtail endlers, or swordtail guppies. But just another really cool guppy that we've recently had. They're not, I don't think they're posted online. These are more Geophagus steindachnerai babies. Some of the swordtail endlers jumped into the 29-gallon behind the tank. So that 29-gallon cycles all the water through all these tanks, and the bottom one cycles through all the breeder boxes on the bottom. So you can see there's a bunch of babies. There was like a female, 2 females, and a male jumped out of the breeder box, so now they're populating this tank. Took me forever to get that cleared out. These are going to be really cool. These are red rosy barbs from Tom. Shout out, really appreciate it. They're doing great. They're skittish. I definitely need to get them a bigger home. I just don't know exactly where. I want to grow them a little bit more. They're eating all their brine shrimp. And I'm thinking if they get big enough, I don't want to move them to a 40-gallon too soon, but they're about ready for it. They've doubled in size since I got them from you. So he's an excellent breeder here in Bay City also, and he needs some plants and a little, some endlers for his daughter's tank. And these are Red Empress, sorry. So we just made a trade. I was into getting barbs. So cheers, happy Friday. Having a couple seltzers today. So this is my new rack system. You may have only seen this once, if at all. This is some of our Rainbowfish that we have available right now. So I mixed them all together, but I can tell the difference, and I know you can too. You can see exactly which ones are turquoise rainbows based on their body shape, and they have that turquoise blue color, and which ones are millennium rainbows. Any ones that have any of the red in them are millenniums. So that's a turquoise right there, even though it was dull. And this is a millennium right here because it has a little bit of red fins. And then we also have a handful of dwarf neon rainbowfish in here, which are easy to tell the difference. I don't know where they all went though. Oh, there's one. They're a little skittish. Totally different body shape. There's quite a few right here. But yeah, these are all 2-inch rainbowfish. Super healthy, super hardy. We got another 40-gallon tank of them, packed full of plants also, but both 40-gallon tanks are doing amazing on the rainbowfish, so those have been a pleasure to raise. I was thinking about specializing in rainbowfish for a while, but they're a lot of work. It takes a long time to grow them to this size. I mean, these fish are almost 2 years old, I would say. They start so small you can't even feed them brine shrimp. They are just teeny tiny specks. And you have to feed them either Amphisoria, green water, and I feed them a mix of vinegar eels and microworms personally. So this is really cool. Chris Grozonic, shout out to him. If anybody knows CNF, cichlids, Chris Grozonics, and Faith, they had a power outage and lost a lot of their fish, unfortunately. But before their power outage, after they bought their new house, I came over and picked up these. These are redfin caudopunctatus. So caudopunks, the redfin variety. Super nice tank. And we have our first babies in here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to zoom in here. But this is another 40-gallon tank. Oop, covering up the camera. And they're going to be skittish, but I've seen a few zipping around here. No, they know I'm out. I'm doing weird stuff. I'm talking. But our first babies came from these. So these are a shell dweller. They don't use their shells as much as the Neolamprologus multifasciatus down below. But these guys have been just awesome. They're a really pretty fish. So I know people would want these, and their babies are super small too, but from what I've seen so far, they're pretty good parents. So I'm hoping I can get Chris those caudopunctatus back, restart his colony. These are the Maltese. They go nuts. I sell them cheaper to locals than anywhere else, and they just love it in this tank. They love it. There's babies all over the place, always babies. And we feed a ton of brine shrimp. And this is at least 120 gallon down on the bottom. It's packed full of hornwort and some of our better angelfish. So these are some of the different gold angelfish. These are a different style of gold than the blue gold here. And some more of our Philippine blue veil tail angelfish. Everything in here is basically a veil tail. Really nice angelfish, and all I do in this tank, the lights shouldn't even have shown you. It's a little bit blinding, but that's just a cheap Amazon light. I bought like a 4-pack for 120 bucks, and those are 6-foot lights. I think they 30 watt, 35 watt. They're not super energy consumption, but they do really good for this hornwort. So this is our main hornwort tank here. The only problem with this tank is it's a little hard to feed the fish because the tetracolor granule that I feed in there sometimes gets stuck at the top, and the fish, it makes them work for it. I mean, it's not a problem, but if I got any more duckweed in here, this is accidental duckweed. I got to go through here, clean out all the duckweed. And that reminds me, every minute that I spend here is taking away from maintenance that I could be doing. Life's too busy. These are albino galaxy guppies. They've been doing really good. Not so much in that tank, but I'll show you the tank. So I switch them all the time just to make sure I have a good tank. Walking past my seltzer, so I'll take another swig. Cheers. Happy Friday. And we'll try to go pretty quick because my brine shrimp is already settled, so I need to get to that. This is room number 2, I would say. These are more yellowtail swordtails. They breed in this 180 gallon. There's plecos in here. And down here we have a bunch of blue dolphins in 180 gallon. Those guys are getting close to 3 inches. The light's not on here because they've been beating up one poor Tropheus. Tropheus always pick on somebody. Not always, but it will happen no matter what. So these are our Tropheus cachis, the red Tropheus. And there's babies in here also. These are just some mixed cichlids, and when the males get nice in here, so there's OB cichlids, there's some dragon bloods, there's some, what this was red empress mixed with ruby red at the beginning, and as I can discern males, I pull them and take them upstairs to my male show tank, and then I sell them out of there. This is a super nice tank here of Tropheus duboisii maswas. And I know there's a couple people looking for Tropheus around the Midland area. These ones are about as amazing as you can get. Eating machines, not skittish. And it's a pretty good group. If you had a 100-gallon tank or even a 75-gallon tank, you'd probably be successful. And I've been growing these for last 8-9 months. Still looking for a male for this rare yellow rainbowfish colony that I ended up bringing back from Minneapolis. This tank down here is another rainbowfish tank example that has mixed turquoise, millennium, and dwarf blue neons. And we just have a couple little top lights on this one just for all the plants. So we have Java fern and Nubius. And everything you're seeing here, that's just algae that's growing on the side. I haven't gotten in here to clean this other than doing water changes. So this is all set up on automatic water. So every once in a while I'll turn on the automatic water, give them a 10 or 20% extra boost. Seems to help. These are the turquoise rainbowfish breeding group that I have. Even the females have really nice colors. But what an awesome fish those guys are. I mean, those turquoise rainbows are one of my favorite rainbow fish. I like the millenniums too. But the turquoise seem to grow a little faster. They seem a little hardier. I don't know what it is. And I don't know. My favorite color is blue, I guess. It's not really red. So those guys are cool. And the lights are all off on these tanks. In here, these guys, they must have seen me coming. These are more of the silver. Oh, you haven't seen these ones yet. These are the blue Pinoy angelfish. Let me see if I can zoom in. Usually they're right at the front of the tank. I don't know why they're so skittish right now. But again, I don't really mess with my fish. These are more blue Pinoy angelfish also. You can see some of the blues in them. The other tank's actually nicer fish. And anybody who's tuning in for the first time on my videos, everything is nothing but sponge filters and box filters. These round box filters and breeder boxes. So these breeder boxes serve as filters too. I've gone over that in many videos. Down here, I have all these breeder boxes. They're not being used right now. And just some cichlids down here. These are Dimitochromis strigatus mixed with Apache peacock. So I've sold most of the males out of there. They're really not too aggressive. I haven't grown them to full size yet. I've always sold them at 4 or 5 inch mark. And they've never been super aggressive. These are Spontaneous Tanzania Haps. Had them for a very long time. These are more mixed cichlids. I got blue dolphins in there. I got VC10s, super VC10s. I got another tank of VC10s also. And then just some mixed cichlids. And then, like I said, when my upstairs male tank gets empty and people buy out of that one, because I put all the males up there as far as peacocks go and good looking haps, then I'll just come grab some more and go put them up there and watch them grow out. And watching them grow is one of the most fun things for me. These are all red empress from that colony that you saw, the super nice ones, or at least I think they're super nice. Pretty sure they came from Germany, from Aquagos, the group that I got them from. Shout out to Brian Seaman if you're watching this, buddy. I hope you're doing well. I hope you and your kids are enjoying life, man. We should get together for a beer sometime. These are all live bears. Forget the names of these guys right now. I'm not really going to stress my brain too much on thinking about them. These are the Alvarezi swordtails. These are the originals that are really rough on their fry. But these are the ones I grew out in the pond this year. And I do have some fry growing up. They're about 1.5 inches here. So one of the people that messaged me wanted some Alvarezi fry. So I apologize for not getting back with you. I do have some more, but it took me a year to get a batch of them. So I can't sell them dirt cheap, but I'll definitely get you a group if you're interested. More endlers and guppies on both these racks. So these are 7 10 gallons, 7 10 gallons, and then the Trophies de Boise 100 gallon on the bottom. Tiger endlers. I gotta stop tapping their tanks. They don't really care that much about it. More tiger endlers packed full. I gotta get to a swap or an auction. Mixed cichlids or mixed guppies. I can't even identify them. They kind of got mixed together. These are rainbow puke guppies. Super nice. They're Santa Maria endlers mixed with blue Moscow guppies. So some of them are super cool. They're kind of like big Santa Maria endlers, but they are definitely a mix. I'll never sell them as anything other than a mixed strain. These are Santa Maria endlers that I need to strain out a little bit. You know, some of them look really nice. That golden one right there, that female is not supposed to look gold. So these are some more of the albino galaxy guppies. Those are pretty nice, huh? So I have another tank that's doing well on these. Sometimes those albino galaxy guppies eat the crap out of their fry, and sometimes you can get them to leave them alone. It's kind of weird. So these are more pure strain volcano endlers. It's not pure strain because those red endlers don't really exist in nature. That's why I still have to cull some of the fish out of there. But the ones that are red and have the white belly like that, very nice. So I have 3 tanks of those, it looks like. These are Santa Maria endlers here, and these are black bar endlers. I've kept them very separate. You know, the black bar endlers are super nice too. They're just more common. So if you're starting out in endlers and guppies, there's no reason not to get black bar endlers. They're super pretty, super small fish. If you have a 3 gallon or a 5 gallon tank, perfect fish for you. And the Santa Marias, they're just more rare. They haven't been in the hobby as long. I used to make half my money off Santa Maria endlers, and I probably still could. I still have the cheapest prices online. These are mixed cichlids. I don't know why I'm touching everything. Just like Darla off Finding Nemo. Poke, 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 poke. I'm just happy it's Friday, I guess. But yeah, just mixed cichlids here. I don't have any of these lights on, so we're going to go super quick. These are, again, mixed cichlids. I got blue dolphins mixed in with dragon bloods. The tank's crowded, I know. Again, more mixed cichlids. So I already pulled a lot of the males out of here. There's a couple males that are, once you pull more males, the other males will show color. So the less dominant males could be your best colored fish. You just don't know it because they have a different personality than the ones that are the jerks, I guess. But these are the Super VC10s. They take forever to get their male colors. But when you get a full-grown VC10, they're gorgeous. And this guy is definitely a male. And the females don't look bad either. They got those black and brown stripes. But he's going to be a stud. It's taken me almost 3 years to get him that size. So here's my albino galaxy guppy colony that's actually producing. So once this colony stops producing, I will have to switch up and transfer them to a different tank. But I don't sell that many fish. I don't even have time to post videos, so. But yeah, he's a very happy albino galaxy guppy in here. It's got a lot of females to choose from. So I did that kind of on purpose and was hoping it would cut down on the fry eating, which it has. You can see all the fry in there, which is awesome. These guys just laid. This poor girl, it's been a year. She's been egg bound. You can see how fat she is, but she eats every single day. And there's 2 females and 1 male in here. And these are the adults from all the blue Philippine zebra angelfish. Very rare angelfish, and they're very pretty. I'm really bad with names right now, so these are Eastern Happy cichlids from Lake Victoria or Lake Malawi. They kind of come from that general river basin. These are more mixed guppies. I really don't need to have this many mixed guppy tanks. But there's some real stunners. So that was a 30-gallon. These are all 29 gallons. Everything in this room has automatic water changes also. Still trying to get these koi angelfish to breed. Not really too concerned about it. I'm just feeding everything. Everything down here basically just gets fed, and we don't sell anything, which is an unsustainable process in the long run. But then here's another blue Philippine zebra. She's not too happy. They've been having some marital disputes. I was trying to breed her with one of the black veil Philippines, and these guys are hiding because I'm doing weird stuff. Those are Christmas Fulu Lake Victorian cichlids. These are also Lake Victorian cichlids. These are fire Ugandas. Very pretty fish, but he doesn't really want to be seen. These are the dwarf blue neons breeding group that I have. And just a lot of different angelfish tanks. So these are blue Philippine zebras with blue gold veil tails, all living in this. These are all 20-gallon longs. This whole row is 20-gallon longs. This whole row is 20-gallon longs. And these are all 29-gallon tanks. And this is the female, the yellow calvus. Yep, she's going back in her tank, and there's the male. They're waiting to get fed. So I separated them because the male was getting a little aggressive. He was not letting her come out and get enough food. So I put her in this tank because one thing about calvus is they will always go and hide in their bells. This is a bell you can buy online. It's really good for them to lay their eggs in, and then the female can get to the back and protect the eggs, and the male can't get back there. There's a lot of different breeding setups you can do for these different types of fish. A lot of those caves in there are set up just for calvus to be able to keep their eggs and protect them in the back, because the female's not as big as the male. But there's so much to this hobby. This is the first group that I bred, so there was a couple people very interested in more yellow calvus, and I'm down to about 8 of them, and they are almost 1.5 inches, 2 inches. I don't have good lights on them right here, but super healthy. I've sold off the rest of the 40, so not very many left. This is another tank, kind of a backup tank with subswasser tang on the bottom. That's a really cool plant I got from Mac McLaughlin. Yellowtail swordtails, and that breeding mop's just in there with some different plants just for cover. Random cichlids, need to just get rid of them basically. These are more hippo point salmon. This is more cichlids in here. These are more blue Philippine zebra angelfish, starting to get a little bit of size to them. They don't grow as fast in these 20-gallon longs as they do in the 40 gallons. It's very noticeable if you've been doing this for any amount of time. These are another Lake Victorian that I was super excited about. They're mostly black with yellow on their fins, but they're fairly aggressive. They're Punamilla macrocephala. For the last 2 months, I've been prepping this tank down here to breed my super red bristlenose. And I haven't done it yet, but I did remove all the guppies out of the super red bristlenose tank. So I have a nice male over here. I have some nice females here. And they're very red and they're not spotted at all. I've been through a lot of super red bristlenose, and these ones have already bred once, the little young guys. These were the ones that didn't make it. So these are blue marbled angelfish, and then this is kind of like a koi. But you never know what's going to come from their babies. So I did try, this is a breeding group right here. I haven't really messed with them. You can see their breeding slate. They keep knocking it down. Jerks. But I don't come down here and try to fix everything all the time. Most days I just come down here and do a quick feed. Maybe do a quick water change and then call it a day. Usually they don't even get a water change. It's a quick feed. And these are just more marbled angelfish here with some black Pinoy angelfish. I mean, they're nice. I just got to move them. And we're almost done. And then this is my last group. These are the turquoise rainbowfish. These guys are actually about 6 months old, 7 months old now. You can see how long it's taken them to get them to a decent size. So now they're easy. Now I just have to feed them brine shrimp. There's a couple in this tank, none in here. I just been too busy. These are more blue Philippine zebras. Just a standard light on this tank. But what's cool about the zebras is they all have a little different pattern. They're all unique, you know, like look at that guy right there. I mean, so they're pretty cool. I like them. And then these, that's another rare hap that I haven't been able to breed yet. Chilotilapia utilis, which is more of a yellow, big cichlid hap that goes good with peacocks, red empress, anything. So the male's real pretty. He obviously knows I'm up to no good here. This is abnormal behavior. Fish are smarter than you think. If something's out of the ordinary, we've been doing this for 4 years now, coming downstairs, do our normal routine, feed them. If anything's out of the ordinary, they know it. So yeah, it kind of makes these videos a little different than everyday life. If these are your fish and you're down here with them, they even start to learn when you're doing a big water change on them. Some of them get happy and excited and they start swimming up to the top of the tank and they're like, yeah, we're getting a big water change, because they've been around long enough, you know. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you're surviving the winter, not getting the winter blues too bad. It hit me pretty hard. Work's hitting me pretty hard too. I'm just trying to survive right now. Work's requiring 3 times more from me than they used to. And I'm just trying to do the best for everybody that I can. You know, my family. Trying not to begrudge them anything and do as much as we can as a family, and also take care of the animals in my house, including all the fish and everything, and then still trying to live life and enjoy life. So I hope you all are doing the same. So here's a couple of the Alvarezii swordtails I put in with the rainbowfish, and they get along great. So the swordtails and rainbowfish, those are 2 of my top favorite fish. If you ever want a super cool planet tank, recommend it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Joe from Metafish signing out for now. If you're local, hit me up. I'd love to see you post a comment, give it a like. It'll help motivate me in the spring to keep doing what I'm doing. So take care, have a great winter. Talk to you soon.